Hi everyone, bit of a change of scenery for today's workout. For those that don't know me, I am one of the new trainers here at Athletic Edge. My name's Iain. I'm going to take you through a little 30-minute workout today, full body. You won't need any equipment, but if you do have a kettlebell, a dumbbell, even resistance bands, you can add those in as well. So, super simple format. We're going to go through a few different exercises, probably about 6 or 7 different exercises. And as always with my workouts, you can optionally do a bit of active rest recovery in between each exercise. So while I'm going over an exercise, you've got the option to do a little jog on the spot, a little jumping jack, anything to keep that heart rate elevated if you want to, or just get your rest as you need it. So let's get straight into it. All become clear once we get started. Just start my timer. So just start a little march in place, get that knee up in front. We'll gradually get that heart rate going. So warm up the hips, open up the hips. Little circles with the hips now. Yeah, so super simple format. Usually go about 6 or 7 different exercises. We'll do 2 rounds, 45 seconds to about a minute per exercise. And then we'll finish with some little core workout and a little bit of posture as well. Let's go for a little jog on the spot, just warm up those knees, flicking up the heels at the back, and taking those knees up in front as well. So alternate between those two, starting to get that heart rate up a little bit. If jumping or bounding is a little bit of a problem, just stay with that march in place. A little bit higher those knees now. Pumping the arms into a little jumping jack. Again, if jumping's a problem, just a little step jack to the side is fine. Just try to warm up that upper body as well. Couple more jumping jacks, guys. Good, keeping the hips forward, little torso twist, loosen off that lower back. As it loosens up, we're a bit further behind, looking at the wall behind. Good. Coming into your squat stance now, guys. So your natural squat stance, nice and wide with the feet. Nice, slow and controlled, just warming up through the legs. So we'll get a nice, good warm up, and then we'll go straight into our round. So like I said, if you've got weights at home, you can add those in. Couple more squats, guys. Feet are nice and flat. Make sure we're keeping that posture good, so we're not bending over too much. Upright torso, feet nice and flat. You can go for a little pause at the bottom if you want to. Let's go for 1 or 2 more squats. Next up, we've got a little lunge. So just a little reverse lunge there. Stepping back, switching sides. Make sure we're dropping that knee down. Keeping the core tight for balance. You can add a little twist here if you want to. A little twist. Core tight for balance. Couple more lunges, guys. Warming up through those legs. Next up, coming down to all fours. Just into a little cat-cow here. So keep the knees close together, arching up through the upper back. Get a nice stretch in the upper spine, and then dip the chest, looking up, and back to your cat-cow, okay? So, transition between those 2 movements, warming up the thoracic spine, in between the shoulder blades. We're going for a little twist now, so hand behind the neck, open up that elbow, point to the ceiling almost, and then back. Keeping the knees close together will limit the twist in the lower back. We want to keep this focused in the upper back, the thoracic spine. 3 or 4 reps, then switching sides. Point that elbow up to the ceiling. 3 or 4 reps. Mountain climber next, guys. So starting to get that heart rate back up. Shoulders over your hands. Driving in that knee for about 10 to 20 seconds. Almost done with the warm-up, guys. You can go slow with these and build up if you want to. So take that knee in, little pause. You're starting to get that heart rate up. Warming through the shoulders now too. Last 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Come to your knees. Big shoulder circles through the shoulders. Nice and warm for the upper body before we get started. Big swings backwards. And across the chest, guys. So, getting ready to go. Grab a quick water break. Little towel if you've got one. Have it handy. So you can start your active rest now if you want. So like I said, that can be a low jump and squat, you can do boxing, jumping jacks, squats even if you want to, or just grab your rest. The first couple of exercises are going to be all body weight, just to get really nice and warm, almost like an extension of our warm-up. So the first one we're going to go for, nice and easy, just a knee to elbow. So knees coming across to that elbow. We're almost meeting it, keep it upright from the torso. Just get a nice twist there. So nice and warm, just nice and warm for the hips, and then we'll build it up gradually. Getting ready, going about 5 seconds for knee to elbow, guys. In 3, 2, 1. So I'm standing up nice and tall, coming across with that elbow to meet the opposite knee. As you get warmer with this, you can go a little bit faster, drive that knee across the body. What we don't want is coming down. We want to keep that upright torso, keep the chest open, keep that in good posture. So I'm just driving that knee up. Last 10 seconds here. Should be getting a little bit warmer now. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Active rest and recovery if you want to. Next exercise is going to be a lateral 3-step, okay? So what it is you go 1, 2, 3, that inside knee's coming up, and you're driving the arm. 1, 2, 3, inside knee. Okay? 1, 2, 3, inside knee. If you want to, you can add a little jump here, a little power skip. Up to you guys. Getting ready to go in about 5 seconds. Lateral 3-step with a little hop if you want to. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, knee raise. So it's a little knee raise, or it's a power skip at the bottom, at the side, sorry. Drive the arms too, we want to get warm for the upper body as well. 1, 2, 3. Takes a little bit of coordination this to get it going, but once we get it, you go a little bit faster, starting to get that heart rate going. So the outside leg is always doing that skip, and the inside leg is always coming up. Opposite arm, opposite leg if you're going for that little jump. Again, if jumping's a problem, you're just going for that little knee raise. Okay? Just do what's comfortable for you. Last 10 seconds. Should be getting nice and warm now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Active rest recovery. So that's our 2 body weight exercises done. If you've got weights, start adding them now. We're going to start with a little squat. So it's going to be an eccentric squat. So what that means, we're coming down for the count of 5. So normal squat stance, whatever's comfortable for you. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Power up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, power up. Getting ready to go in about 10 seconds, guys. If you've got your weights, you can add them now. In 3, 2, 1, coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 reps, 4 or 5 seconds on the way down. Make sure you're keeping a good posture. Coming down, keep the feet nice and flat. Little pause to long, fire up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fire up. If you want to make this harder, we're coming down for the full squat, or we're only coming halfway up, and we're back down. So you're keeping constant tension through the quads and glutes. Keep this going, guys. So you're either going for that 4-second pause on the way down, or you're going for that never-ending squat, I like to call it. So you never come fully up. We're coming down to your good squat depth, about halfway up, and then back in. Nice and slow and controlled, guys. Don't rush the movement. Keep it going. Keep that back nice and straight. Start to feel the legs now. Last 10 seconds. See if we can get at least 2 more in. Nice, slow and controlled with that squat. 3, 2, 1. Relax in there or your active rest. Next up, we're going upper body now. So, we're coming into a little push plank here. So what we're looking for is starting in your top plank position, widen the feet for balance, squeeze the stomach. We're coming down with one arm and then pushing up. Alternate the sides. So I'm leading with my right side and then I'm pushing with the left. If that's too much, maybe you just want to hold the top plank for the 45 seconds, or you can drop to your knees if you need to. Drop to your knees if you need to, come down to the elbows. Getting ready to go in about 5 seconds, guys. Coming down to your mat, into your push planks in 3, 2, 1. So make sure our hips are down. So we're not hips up here. Our weight is over our shoulders over our elbow joint. Pushing up, squeeze in the stomach. You'll feel this in the shoulders obviously, but also a core exercise, nice and stable through the stomach. So from the front, pushing up one side, pushing up the other. Getting nice and warm now, guys. Again, as always, drop to your knees if you need to, but make sure that back's nice and straight. Last 10 seconds of push planks. Keep that core nice and tight. 3, 2, 1. Active rest or get your recovery. Next one, back to legs. We're going for a static lunge. So what that's going to be, come into your lunge stance, nice and solid through the core. We're coming down, little pause and then back up. So we're pushing through this front leg. We're going to do 30 seconds one side. I'll tell you when to switch. 30 seconds the other side. As always, add your weights if you've got them. Ready to go in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to start with my right leg forward. Make sure my heel is nice and flat. I'm not rolling onto the toes. Keep the pressure away from the knee and back up. You feel this right through the front quad. Up on my toes for that back one. Keep it going. Core tight for balance, only me. 5 seconds left this side. 3, 2, 1. Switching legs. 3, 2, 1. Push in, guys. So, making sure we're keeping solid through the core. What we don't want is to lunge forward. We want to take a little step and we're dropping that back knee down in a straight line. So get your squat stance, lunge comes down in a straight line, pushing through that front heel. Nice and solid through there. Take breaks as you need them, like me. Right in, guys, last 5 seconds of lunges. 3, 2, 1. Active rest and recovery again. We've got 2 more exercises, guys. Next up is going to be a bent over row. So if you've got weights, what we're looking for. Back nice and straight, keep that good posture. Push the hips back for a little hip hinge. Back's nice and straight, we're driving the elbow. Little pause at the top. 1, 2, and back down. Little pause and squeeze into the shoulder blade. You can go for 3 or 4 reps every side. or I'll tell you when to switch for the 30 seconds. If you don't have weights at home, we're going for a little reverse fly on the ground. So what that looks like, coming down for a head on the mat, thumbs pointing towards the ceiling, squeezing the shoulder blades at the back, 1, 2, 3, pause, and back down. So feel that right between the shoulder blades. Ready to go in 5. Finishing your active rest there. Start with your bent over rows if you've got the weights. In 3, 2, 1. So hinge on hips. Back's nice and straight. So you can either do 30 seconds one side, I'll tell you when to switch. Or if your arm starts to get tired, your back starts to get tired, just switch every 4, 5 reps, okay? Driving with that elbow. You got 10 seconds left. If you're going for that 30 seconds per side. 3, 2, 1, switching sides if you haven't done already. If you want to make it a little harder, you can come wider with that row. So bring in more lats. So rather than keep the elbow in, I'm coming a bit wider with that elbow. Again, back's nice and straight. Keep the core tight. Right to the end, guys. Again, if you've got no weights at home, we're into that reverse fly on the floor. Last 5 seconds of rows. We've got one more exercise to finish the round. In 3, 2, 1. Active rest or get your recovery. Last exercise of the round, guys, is going to be a walkout. So if you've not done a walkout before, we're standing up nice and tall. We're walking our hands out, nice and fast with the hands, into our top plank position again, squeeze the stomach, and then back out. If you want to make this harder, we're coming out, we're adding a little push up here, back out to a stand, you can even add a little jump. Okay, 45 seconds, see how many you can get in. Ready to go in about 5 seconds. Active rest recovery if you're still going for that. In 3, 2, 1. Walking out. Add that push up if you can. Coming up, jump in. If you want to add the push up, you can drop to your knees, even come back to your top plank, walk up, add the jump if you want to. Just do what's comfortable for you guys. Take your time. We'll be doing 2 rounds, remember. So you're getting comfortable with these exercises. We'll get a longer rest after this exercise. You can even double up that push up at the bottom if you want to work more upper body. Last 10 seconds of walkout, so you can get 1 or 2 more in. 3, 2, 1, and relax in there, guys. Quick breather, or if you want to, you can keep going with that active rest, keep that heart rate elevated. I'm going to take my breather. I never stop talking. So, go for about 30 seconds rest, guys. I'll get a chance to get my breather back. So, we know the 7 exercises now. We're going to skip that elbow to knee drive. We're going to start with that lateral 3-step with the hop if you can. This time I won't have to speak so much, so I'll get my breather this time. As always, add in your weights if you want to. Getting ready to go in about 10 seconds. Starting with that lateral 3-step, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Add that hop if you can. Ready to go in 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. Add the hop if you can. If not, little knee raise. Drive the arms too, like a sprinter. So it's opposite arm, opposite leg. Little power skip. You can clench your fist if it think it makes you look more powerful. Springing off that toe. Again, if the jump is too much, little knee raise. Keep breathing. Last 10 seconds of these. Add that little power skip if you can. Springing off the toes. Sprinter arms. 3, 2, 1. Active rest recovery. I'm going to go for a little bit of boxing. Maybe jumping jacks, maybe squats. But you've got your squat next. Ready, go in 10 seconds. Adding your weights if you want to. Little eccentric squat in 3, 2, 1. So find your natural squat stance. Nice and slow. Powering up. If you want to do that never-ending squat, remember, it's all the way, only halfway up, and back down. Feet are nice and flat. Posture is good. We're not caving the knees in. Keep those knees tracking out. Nice, slow and controlled. If anyone wants to make this harder, you can come down for slow, 4 or 5 seconds, and then add a little jump if you want to. Add in the jump if you want to. But if you just want to focus directly on that legs, thinking about what muscles you're using, last 10 seconds, just go nice, slow and controlled. Back nice and straight, coming down to good depth. Slowing the way down, power up. 3, 2, 1. Active rest recovery, guys. We've got push planks next. So again, in that top plank position, core is nice and tight. Down with one arm and pushing up the other side. Ready to go in about 5 seconds. As always, drop to your knees if it's too difficult. In 3, 2, 1. So feet are a bit wide, squeeze the stomach, pushing up one side, and pushing up the other. Try not to tilt your hips off here. Keep the hips parallel to the ground. Squeeze the stomach hard. My weight's over my elbow joint. So you can see that. My weight's over my elbow joint. My elbows aren't way out in front of my face. Pushing up, pushing down. Squeeze the stomach, guys. Drop to your knees if you need to, as always. You can even elevate your hands on a sofa or a bed, whatever you've got at home, just to make it a little easier, sorry. Last 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Active rest recovery, guys, if you're still going for that. Back to legs next. We've got that lunge. So a few variations for that one. 30 seconds per leg. Getting ready if you've got your weights. In 3, 2, 1. Lunge stance, up and down. So you're dropping that knee down in a straight line. We're not pushing forward here. Grab the stance, nice and solid through the stomach. Pushing through that front heel. Last 10 seconds this leg, if you haven't switched already. Three, 2, 1. Switching sides. Almost there, guys. A couple of exercises left after this, then we'll go straight into a little bit of core and finish with some posture as well, if we've got time. Driving through that front leg. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Active rest recovery. We've got that bent over row next, so with the dumbbell, or we're down on the ground into that reverse fly. Ready to go in about 5 seconds, guys. Coming down to your mat if you're doing the reverse fly, or into your dumbbell row in 3, 2, 1. So it's reverse fly. If you've got no dumbbells, little pause at the top. 1, 2, squeezing into the shoulder blades. Back down. If you've got the dumbbell, we're going for that bent over row. If you've got bands at home as well, guys, you can use the bands. So So stand on the band, pull up with both hands, and we're squeeze and hold at the back. Exactly the same with our dumbbell. Driving that elbow, little pause at the top, keep that posture good. Core is nice and tight. Switching sides if you haven't done already. Driving the elbow, squeeze the stomach, squeeze the shoulder blade. Ten seconds. Even up those sides. 3, 2, 1. Almost there, guys. Finishing with our walkouts. So this will be our last exercise before we get into a core. Ready to go in about 10 seconds. So we're walking out nice and quick with the hands, squeeze the stomach, add the push up, add the jump if you want to. Ready to go in 3, 2, 1. Core nice and tight, add that push up if you want. Back up, add the little poker jump. If you want to work more upper body, double up the push up. If you're not comfortable with your push up, take your time here, drop to the knees, push up and back. Do it at your own pace, guys. If you're not comfortable with the walkouts, you can just walk in here. You can even just step up from here. Okay? Step back, walk out, and you can just step up. Last 10 seconds. Let's get a couple more in. 3, 2, 1. And relax, guys. Well done. Grab some water, grab a breather. Towel down. But we're not finished yet. Straight into a quick bit of core. So a little bit of a core blast to finish. What we're going to start with. Our hardest exercise first, working lower abdominals. What we're going to do. So lie flat on our back. Push that lower back into the ground. So there's no space here, okay? What we're going to do, raise those legs into a little flutter kick. Press the arms down into the ground. The lower you go with these, the harder it's going to be. If it's too much, come higher with those legs. Or add a little tuck. Ready to go in 5, guys. Lying down on the ground, we're going for little flutter kicks in 3, 2, 1. Keep that neck on the ground. Squeeze the stomach. Remember, I'm pushing that lower back into the ground. It doesn't arch here. Pushing it in. If you start to find it comes off, just into any core exercise you're comfortable doing, okay? Last 5 seconds of flutter kicks. 3, 2, 1. Deep breaths in towards the stomach. We'll go one more round of those for 20 seconds. Deep breaths in the stomach. Ready to go in about 5 seconds, guys. Remember, lower back's into the ground. If it's too much, just into that little core crunch or whatever. Ready to go in 3, 2, 1. Flutter kicks up and down, squeeze the stomach. Last 10 seconds. Take breaks if you need them. 3, 2, 1. Active rest, guys. Our last one is going to be a heel touch. So, much the same. Lower back's on the floor. Knees are up. Our heels just outside of hands reach. We're reaching for those heels or toes and squeezing into the sides. My shoulder blades are off the ground. My core is engaged. Ready to go in about 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Shoulders are up. Reaching for those toes. Squeeze the stomach. It's going to be the last exercise, guys.
Hopefully you've got some music on at home, you're not just listening to me panning away. If you don't have music on, you'll know for next time. Get the music on. It's a bit echo in here as well. 3, 2, 1, relaxing down. Deep breaths into the stomach. One more round of those guys, then we're done. We'll get a little stretch. Ready to go in 3, 2, 1. Shoulders are up. Again, if this is too uncomfortable for anyone, just into any core exercise you're comfortable with. That could be a plank, it could be a normal crunch, it could be a little bicycle crunch. Even though I find those hard. Last 10 seconds, squeeze that stomach as hard as you can. Core should be engaged here. Relax the neck, keep the chin tucked. In 3, 2, 1. Relaxing there, guys, well done. Good stuff. When you're ready, coming onto your fronts, we'll just go into a little child's pose, just to get the heart rate back down to normal, get the recovery. So sitting our bum back towards our heels. Open up the chest, get a nice stretch in the upper back. So I'm creating room here, open up the chest, nice deep breaths in towards the stomach. Get in the recovery. Good. Couple of cat-cows like we did in the warm-up. A little bit quicker this time, I'll drop the chest, open up. Switching between those 3 or 4. Good. Low runner's lunge. So stretching off that hip. Hopefully you've got something to cushion your knee here. A little towel or something to put under your knee. Stretching into those hips. Switching sides. In your own time. As always, I always say, do these stretches for longer at home. Obviously I gloss over them at the end of a workout. We're just coming to a little forward fold to finish. So a little forward fold. So I'm not bending my back, just keeping that hip hinge, stretching up the hamstrings, just until you feel those hamstrings stretch. Open up the chest. You can even grab the mat behind you, open up those shoulders. And relaxing there, guys. So a bit of a quick stretch there. If you want, I can link a little stretching routine down below in the description or in the comments. So look out for that, guys. Thank you for my first one in Athletic Edge. So hopefully see you in the gym soon. See you guys.